Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shorthanded. As always, your host Brendan. I'm joined by Nick, formerly known as Nick's Picks, as we have moved on from our daily show to more of a weekly update, or a weekly wrap-up, if you will. We have nothing to wrap up because no series is in the bag, but let's start off with the one that I think, let's see how our two Game 7s are doing. So Winnipeg is facing off with Dallas. I believe we both picked Dallas in this series.
Dallas in 6.
I also think, based on what I'm seeing, is you have a man on a mission.
Oh my god. I think Mika Rantanen is the best hockey player I've ever seen.
I don't know the stats, and again, forgive me, and the audience here obviously can bring this up. He had 2 hat tricks in a row in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I tried to find out if that's
that.
ever been done. He surpassed Mario Lemieux in points in a
consecutive goals. Like, if you have an assist or a goal in, you keep on racking that up consecutively. Mika Rantanen did that 13 consecutive times. The most was Mario Lemieux with 9. That just shows you what a run he's on. I mean, he has 17 points. It leads the league. 8 goals and 9 assists. I am just stunned. I didn't expect this at all from him.
I think the worst part about this, and I'm gonna go back to my Avs pick because I had time to think about the Avs, because remember when Dallas played them, they didn't have two of their stars. Now Robertson's back with Dallas, which makes them even more lethal. The other thing that I failed to notice is the coach of the Stars has never won a cup.
Yeah, so he's on a mission
even
too.
though he's 9-0 in Game 7s, which is, again, another stat that if you said it out loud at a bar, nobody would believe you, let alone to your friends in school. So, 9-0 in Game 7s. He is an excellent, excellent coach. Hands down. Nobody would doubt that. In fact, I guarantee you if he was let go tomorrow, all the teams looking for coaches would make them available.
Exactly.
When I look at this series, when we were walking into it, I said Dallas definitely has the upper hand. I thought Winnipeg got beat up a lot by St. Louis. I just thought Dallas had too much. Dallas, to me, looks, to your point, on a mission, but I don't think we can talk enough about Mikko. The other thing, again, my point on the Avs, listening to the GM and Joe Sakic talk about Mikko and the trade is terrible. It's cringy. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it makes sense. I get it. We couldn't sign him, so on and so forth. But there's 2 things that happened in this trade that I don't think the Avs even remotely thought about. Number one, when they were searching for teams to trade him to, they were looking at the Eastern Conference. They wanted to bury him in the Eastern Conference. You never have to see him. You don't have to worry about him. They bury him in Carolina, by the way, who's playing great as well. If you bury him in Carolina, you don't have to worry about him. Great move.
But then Rantanen's like, he plays a couple games. I don't want to be here. I don't like Carolina. You guys can have Natchez, but I don't like Carolina. I want to go to a team that's been to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 of the 5 past years. So he moves over to Dallas, which is bordering Colorado. They're a rival team in the playoffs. They face off almost every year, and it's just a great matchup. So now they're like, okay, we're scared of him because he's on a mission. You say, you're going to trade me away, bury me in the East? I'm going to go right next to you, and I'm going to shove it in your face. And he did. He brought it to Game 7, and it showed.
He signs an 8-year deal with Dallas. So he's with Dallas for the next 8 years. And the Avs are going to have to figure out how to beat Dallas if they're going to try to win a cup. And I'd hate to tell you this. If I'm looking at paper today, Dallas is deeper. Dallas is more talented. Dallas has the talent in the right spots, and they look extremely lethal. They're at home, looked great at home. Take the series lead 2-1. I know in hockey anything can happen. I just think Winnipeg's been through the ringer. Could Hollaback stand on his head and win a couple of these and then make it worthwhile? Absolutely. He already did. So, I mean, you feel still confident in your pick. I feel confident with Dallas.
I feel like Dallas has showed from that last series, from that Game 7, they totally picked it up way better in the past Game 6, 7. So then now you move into this series and you have Winnipeg, which just came off of a thriller Game 7 as well. I thought Winnipeg has played 10 times better than they did in the last series, and so was Hellebuck. Hellebuck didn't have a great game yesterday, but still, he had a shutout, which I'm surprised because you didn't see anything from him last series. You see Josh Morrissey's back. He gets an assist last game. I thought Winnipeg wasn't out until that third period, obviously when Mika Rantanen takes over. But I thought both teams have bounced back tremendously from versing these like underdog teams. So now when you go into here, it's 2-1. Winnipeg, you can go down 3-1, go into Winnipeg, which I think they do have a chance. But so now it's Dallas at home, game 4, Winnipeg versus Dallas. So for Winnipeg, you had Hellebuck, which gave up 5 last game. There was a couple lucky bounces, and I get that happens with goaltenders. But I just feel like in this game, if you go down 3-1, I see maybe the next 2 games, both teams are going to win. I had Dallas in 6, so I see either Jets taking this game, going back to home, but I don't think Dallas wants to go back to Winnipeg tied, and I don't think they will, so I'm going to take Dallas here, and then Jets taking game 5, so then it'll be 3-2, and then Dallas will take it at home.
I feel in the second round, all these teams kind of, to get to the second round, you kind of figured out what was working, what wasn't working. And so you're a lot more competitive or you're a lot more focused, I would say. I know that sounds really weird in the first round. In the first round of the playoffs, you're feeling each other out. There's a lot of that, like, how am I adjusting to you? How are you adjusting to me? Now that you're in the Final Four, the Western Conference Final Four, the next one plays for the whole thing. It's, this is now you're starting to taste it. And I just feel when I watch Dallas, man, it just feels like, to your point, they're on a mission.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't surprise me if Dallas won in 5. I like your win in 6 only because it's hockey and the puck bounces really odd. I was gonna also laugh. The amount of, I think they did an entire special on this. We could probably do highlights till the day is long on the playoffs. The amount of goals that are scored on shots off of human bodies and traffic, and it's skates that are on the other team. It's so there is nothing truer than just put the puck towards the net.
Exactly.
Just put it towards the net and see if you get a bounce or whatever may work your favor. And we've seen some crazy bounces in some other series that we're going to get to. In this series, though, if I was going to look at what crazy bounces have happened, I think it's been pretty much like Winnipeg dominated Game 2. Dallas was really in control of Game 1, and Dallas was in control of Game 3. So I haven't seen that, punch back and forth matchup. So if Dallas comes out and controls Game 4, man, it's going to make them feel really good. Because the other thing that people don't put into that, beating a team in 5 games in this series gives you such an advantage moving into the next round because of health. So, if Dallas can get Winnipeg on the ropes, which I feel like they want to do, 5 games seems very possible.
Yeah, and I am loving the series. It's great. It's entertaining. I feel like it's what we've seen from a lot of round 1 matchups. And like I've said, I want to see Dallas go far. I want to see them make it to the Stanley Cup once again, and I want them to reach that. Like we've been seeing in this series, they bounced back hard. I've been loving how they're utilizing their whole lineup. The PK has been great. Even when you got these sharp passes through and the injuries coming back, like Mark Scheifele's back, Josh Morrissey's back. You have superstars in another team. They just match the energy so well. I love how they just come out in that third period. Wyatt Johnston gets that shot, and then Mika Rantanen. I love how they're coming up, putting the pucks on Hellebuck, making them just feel out of this world. So I love how Dallas has been playing so far.
I also love how Dallas they are able to crowd the defensive zone so effectively.
Exactly.
One of the areas that I'm most impressed with when I watch the Dallas Stars, and why I do agree with you, they're obviously all these teams are threats to win the cup, but I think they're one of the top tier threats. Their ability to get in the lanes, block shots purely, because that's the other thing. Put a shot on net is fine, but if you can purely block it so it doesn't get to Ottinger, and the other thing, I have to go back and burn the tape, but Ottinger has just been he's been fantastic. So everything about what Dallas is doing makes them very hard to beat. Can Winnipeg do it? It's an uphill climb. I would be very surprised to see Winnipeg move on. I think we both still agree with our picks, and we'll do another podcast this week. We won't wait the whole week. and then we'll see where we're at. Obviously, the other thing that's great is we're getting more games. We're not getting a lot of delays, which is the first round you get a 2-game or 2-day delay. You don't get that anymore now that there's only 4 series. So they're going to face off against the winner of Vegas and Edmonton. And right off the bat in this series, it looked Game 1 was pretty Edmonton all the way. They looked like they were exactly what we thought from the Kings. Game 2, I thought Vegas played better. Edmonton won. Even though I thought Vegas played better, it felt like a Kings game. And then Game 3, which was fantastic, ends up with a last second, even closer to last second than what Winnipeg did to tie the game, to win the game with 0.4 seconds on a tip-in by the Oilers. It's unbelievable what I'm watching. The biggest story of this series, though, isn't, I think, the offensive players or the Vegas Golden Knights or Edmonton. It's the health of the goaltenders. So Skinner is now playing for Game 4. There was an incident in Game 2.
When did you hear Skinner was starting?
They've already listed it because who is the other goaltender who got laid on?
Calvin Pickard.
Pickard, thank you. Calvin Pickard had gotten fell on in Game 2. So in Game 2, what ended up happening was he got his leg hurt. He played through overtime. He was day-to-day, which is why Skinner played Game 3. I thought they were just making a change, but I didn't realize the injury capacity. So he's still injured. They say it's a lower body injury, so I don't know if it's his knee. If you go back and look at the play, it looked like it was maybe a knee or an ankle. I'm projecting, in my opinion, it looked kind of knee-ish, just the way that the Vegas Knights player fell on him. And it's a bang-bang play, so it wasn't like critical like Washington trying to elbow a goaltender in the head or anything. So he's out, Skinner's in, so that becomes the question. Currently, Skinner is 0-3 in these playoffs.
And with a 6 goals against average, and Pickard's been one of the best goalies in these playoffs. And I think that's huge. And I think Edmonton could have had a 3-0 lead in this series. I thought, great play by William Karlsson, by the way. That was such a great, underrated, just snipe pass. You get it to Riley Smith. He jukes. Oh, my God. He jukes both of the defensemen out. They're on their ankles are broken. Then Skinner comes out of his net 90 feet. And I'm like, Calvin Pickard would not have made that play. You just stay in your net. There's no time left. Don't come out. He can dodge right around you. He's Riley Smith. He's been on the Penguins. You see how he plays. He is great hockey IQ. He knows how to get around these corners and just put these pucks on net. When he gets around Skinner, he sees Draisaitl's stick. I don't blame Draisaitl. He was trying to keep the puck out. Not like he was like trying to redirect the puck in. Obviously, I still think the puck might have bounced in or the time might have run out. I don't blame Draisaitl one bit on this play. I thought Vegas had come out of this series way better than they played in Minnesota. Because I hate the way they played in Minnesota. I thought they just barely got out. That offsides call saved them. So now they come out in this series. Mark Stone gets 2 goals in the first period. Then they lose game 1 and 2, which I thought... So they lost in game 2, I believe, 5-4. It went into overtime, and then it was McDavid to Draisaitl. That should not have been a goal. 100%. There was, I'm not sure who it was, but someone took their stick around a Vegas player on the boards, took their stick around him, then sworded him, and then he was tripped.
It was a dirty trip by the boards. I completely agree with you on McNabb. I don't disagree with what you're saying. The referees held their whistle. Why did they hold their whistle? I don't know. Edmonton had a 5-minute major and didn't score when they should have scored over a vicious cross-check to the face, by the way. Exactly. That was the oddest cross-check, too, because it was overtime. And it just looked like he purposely tried to break every bone.
It was crazy.
Face. And nobody understood it because it was so out of the ordinary. He looked like he just turned around and was like, I'm going to take your head off. And
dude, people are getting killed in these series, man. Like, dude, they are like...
Hockey's not for the light of heart. So I do agree with you. There should have been a penalty. It wasn't called. Vegas ties it up. Basically, Vegas is back in the series because of the goaltender issue. Because
you see Skinner loses. Pickard won those 2. I think that's probably the biggest thing. So Vegas is not out at all.
So do you? Okay. You're already jumping ahead of my question. I was going to ask you. We have Game 4. Skinner's in.
So excited.
You think Skinner's going to lose? So he'll be again. I'm just going to tell you, he would be 0-4 in the playoffs this season. In the
Skinner's
second round.
done. Skinner's done. I'm telling you. We're already going into Knicks picks for tonight. I'm taking Vegas. It's going to be 7-0. Stuart Skinner's horrible. Okay, but all right. Don't get me wrong. Stuart Skinner. He's a great goaltender. He's had a great record.
It just going to be eventually he's going to get a win? He's not this bad.
He's 0-3 in these playoffs, 6 goals against average. He is not a bad goaltender. He's great in the regular season. He brought them to the Cup last year, even though McDavid had 900 points. Still, Stuart Skinner is phenomenal, but you see how Hellebuck's been playing in these playoffs? When it comes to playoff time, it's a completely different player than the regular season player. Then you see how Stuart Skinner's been doing horrible. I thought that play, Edmonton could have won the series by now just because of that goal he let up. I feel like that was such an exciting goal, and Vegas has this desperate feeling in them that if they're down 3-1, it's just like, okay, our series down the line. They don't want to be in that position, and I know how Vegas plays. They're going to Vegas tied. Trust me.
I just have a question. You watched Game 3, right, with Skinner?
Very.
Okay, so when you were watching Skinner, did you feel like he was really, like, a little shaky to you?
He wasn't. I don't feel like shaky. He was not confident in himself. That's what I saw.
I just felt there
in
were
him.
a couple plays where I was just like, he would get the puck, but he didn't know he had the puck, and I think it's just because the days off.
Yeah. So like, there's this comparison I like to make. There's this guy named Taylor Hall. He plays on the Hurricanes now. He won the Hart Trophy in 2018, which is the MVP with the Devils. After then, he came up with a lot of injuries, and he was traded to a lot of different teams. He would become shaky in his game and have a lot of hesitation. Open shots, wouldn't take them, make these stupid plays, and just a lot of hesitation, and you'd see that in the game. And like Stuart Skinner and Taylor Hall, there's not these players. That's what I feel like I'm seeing from Stuart Skinner in these playoffs. I'm not worried for him career-wise. In the series, definitely. I mean, I had Edmonton in 5 or Vegas in 7. I feel like both could happen. Edmonton can totally come away. I see no problem in their forwards. Evan Bouchard has been racking up the points. McDavid and Draisaitl average 1.5 points per game. So I'm not worried in their offense. It's just the goaltending problem, which could be a problem for me.
Here's why I think we're headed to the inevitable and great matchup between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers, again in the Western Conference Finals, which is a treat for everybody, including us. Even more of a treat because we're doing the show. So one of the things that why I think it's inevitable is Edmonton's second, third, and fourth line are doing damage that they did not do in last year's playoffs. They are scoring more. The game that they scored the overtime winner, that was the first point for either of the top stars, which is unheard of in a game. And if you look at the stats, when they don't score, they barely ever win. So they're in overtime with all of their second, third, and fourth line, which are moving. I don't know if they just showed them the St. Louis Blues tapes and said, do what the Blues did in line 4. Because that fourth line for the Blues was the most chaotic, craziest, destructive line in the history of the playoffs. And if I was coaching any team, I would be like, you're the fourth line. You want to play? You play like that. Because the Kings were like, we don't need to use a fourth line. And the Blues were like, all we're doing is using the fourth line. And what are they going to do? I don't care if they ever touch the puck. They're going to murder everybody.
Exactly. And then you see the first line comes out, McDavid, boom. I don't know where he went. He just he does that little deke right to left.
That play that he did, full head of steam.
He accelerates
in overtime,
so fast.
And he
it's
juked
crazy.
out one of the best players. I thought he should have just tripped him. That's what I thought he should have done. I thought he should have just stuck out his trip stick and just said, we had a 5-minute
just like,
major.
hey, I'm going to end your life right here, wax him in the face, because I'm going to deke you anyways.
I mean, it was over. He literally took the wrong step.
Right as I saw him take the puck, I'm like, okay, I could just stop watching now. It's over.
He's so fast on that overtime goal. He stopped and moved the puck like around a little bit before he even passed. It was like the most brutal, like, I'm just going to toy with you. Like a big kid to a small kid. Man. I was like, how does he have this much time? Because he's that fast. He had outskated everyone. The back check wasn't even remotely close to him.
He's just 2-on-1. And you have Draisaitl on the other side. Night.
Not even fair. Not even fair. God bless you, Hill. So here we go. Game 4. We'll get to Nick's picks later, but I think we both. I think that's the Western Conference Finals, and I'm not going to complain about that final match.
But you say Oilers Stars?
Yeah.
I mean, it totally. Last year. Yeah.
And last year it was amazing. For those that don't remember,
feel like
last year it was off. It was crazy.
Little sneak peek. Stars will come out the victorious ones, though.
So let's start off with the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. This is the series that I said I'm super duper 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 confident in the Florida Panthers. And what happens right off the bat? Toronto wins game 1.
Bang! Toronto!
Wins game 2. Then they go to game 3 and they have the lead. They're going to overtime. And, of course, the Rat scores for the Panthers.
How is that possible? I mean, out of all people, Brad Marchand. Are you serious?
This is what happens when you pray to the hockey gods. This is how it works. It doesn't make sense, but Boston fans are over there murdering phone books, throwing things at each other. Families were definitely disshuffled. But here we are now. We're 2-2. And I remember telling you, if Toronto's up 2-0, I still feel good about the Panthers. I will tell you this. I watched the overtime game, and I watched game 4. During the overtime game, I was like, oh, wow, Toronto's about to be up 3-0 because they had chances. They were on the doorstep. And then here we go. Game 4, the goalie for the Panthers. What's his name? Stanley Cup winner.
Sergei Bobrovsky.
What does he
I have
do?
nothing bad to say about this man.
What did he do? Shut out the Maple Leafs.
He had to shut up.
And I'm sitting there going, because the Maple Leafs were flying. Now it's 2-2 going back to Toronto, I believe. Yep, going back to Toronto in round. So this is going to be game 5. This one feels like 7 games.
Absolutely.
Kind of
no
feels
doubt
like
7
that.
games. I'd say, like, Toronto wins at home, and then oh, God. Well, I'll just start how the series has been going out first. Toronto has surprised me a lot from last series. They did great last series. The core 4 was getting points. But then I told you at, like, the beginning, Matthew Nyes was one of the guys that was joining the core 4 and was stepping up huge. He's done it in this series, too. He scored that massive goal, and he just brings the team up, right? Now we're in game 3. Toronto's up 2-0. I thought Nylander has been playing out of his mind this series. Matthews, I feel like Matthews has been a little bit quiet. The power play is super entertaining. I thought the back check from Morgan Riley is one of the most things that outstands to me. Because when it's a turnover, I feel like Toronto gets back. Their defense has been great as well on blocking shots and not letting Florida take these advantages from their huge firepower. So now you go into Florida, you lose game 3. I thought they were going to win that one, make it 3-0, and blew my mind. But now it's game 4, 2-0. I mean, Toronto, like I said, they were flying in that game. I didn't feel like the game was over at all. I thought Toronto was going to win going into that third period. Then the energy just shifted to Florida. Sam Bennett got that fake. Then I was like, okay, what's happening? Florida wins it. Now we're going back to Toronto. The series has been completely even. No team has had the edge. It shows that it's 2-2 and the home team wins. So now, I feel like you saw when Toronto was up 3, they were shaky in Toronto. This is what I think will be the opposite. I feel like they're going to come out when it's like game 1. They're going to be buzzing. Like I said, they're going to be buzzing out. They're going to win game 5, lose game 6, come out and win in game 7, like my original prediction.
Well, here's the things that I've been delighted with. I think this is by far the best Toronto playoff team I've seen in a very long time. Their spacing, to your point, their defense, getting back on defense, their adjustment to turnovers in the neutral zone or even in the defensive zone, their quick turnaround time, and their chances have been good. My concern is that, again, I think the Florida goaltender, his name again is
Sergei Bobrovsky.
Is simply one of the elite goaltenders when he's on in the playoffs. We've seen it last year. You see it this year. And the other thing that I just don't – there's something just about Tkachuk trying to end a Canadian team. I know Matthews is on the Canadian team. I know it's not America versus Canada. But there's just something about the Florida team that has, like, this quiet confidence. Like, oh, we're going to figure it out. We're going to be fine.
Definitely.
So I look forward to who gets to wear the black suit first. If the Florida Panthers coach shows up in a black suit in Game 6, it's bad news, Toronto. And if he has to show up to Game 7 in a black suit, that means he could be wearing his own black suit. So Game 5, I would say, is a huge game for Toronto.
And a huge game for Austin Matthews, too. I feel like he has to get a couple Genos in. I haven't seen him a lot.
You know who's been really good? Nylander.
Dude, he's been amazing.
The thing that I like about him, his turn points, like his turn points with the puck, the control of the puck and being able to just left, right, do the turns on the top of the lane,
accuracy,
bottom, and then he is setting his guys up. Again, scoring goals, making plays. He looks to be a different player this playoff. And and again, I don't know these guys' health or things like that. Like, I don't know if they were injured going into the playoffs last year, so you just don't know, but he looks really good.
Dude, and also John Tavares. He scored 2 in that one game. They went up 3-0. He has blew my mind as well. He looks like prime John Tavares. I could tell he wants a cup. I could tell all of them want a cup. They've been throwing these pucks on net. If they didn't have Sergei Bobrovsky, I don't know what would happen. Because Nylander is accurate. Very accurate. Then you have Johnny T. He's getting these pucks on net. He is helping that core four out. I'm loving their power play. I'm loving everything about Toronto's game. It's a very close series. And when it comes to Florida, everyone's been showing up. I thought Barkov, that was a great shot. It was a bad turn by Toronto. But I've loved the way Florida was playing too. I thought it was great how Marchand got that goal I think it was good for him because he's not himself like he was back in like 2013, but I thought a lot of the Florida players have been showing up for them just like Toronto. So it's been a great back and forth series.
I think that when I look at the series, this series is probably one of the most entertaining because I feel like you have top-level talent, you have the Stanley Cup winner, and nothing for nothing, I'm going to just continue to repeat, this Toronto team is legitimately the best team I've seen Toronto in the playoffs. Whether it's health, whether it's coaching, I don't really care. Even with the different goaltender, they're doing it.
Yeah, and like Joseph Wall has showed up. You have Stolarz that has played great throughout the season. Then you come in with Joseph Wall, which he's played a lot too. He showed up in that last game. It's crazy that was a low-scoring game because Bobrovsky played out of his mind, but so did Joseph Wall. He's a little bit shaky in that past game in Game 3. Totally turned up. He knew what the stakes were. And so I was worried about Joseph Wall playing in for Stolarz, but now I'm confident in him.
So that brings us to the other Eastern Conference series. You still have Toronto. I still like Florida. I'm not going to be mad whoever wins this series, to be honest with you. I kind of would like to see a new blood. I'd like to see Toronto beat them.
Exactly.
The second series is Washington versus Carolina. And I know you hate Washington, so you're going to be delighted to hear what I have to say. I didn't feel that Carolina could really, I thought Washington had something that was, a little bit special. Carolina has knocked the special off of the face of Washington.
Let me just say one thing, even though I'm a Washington hater, and I'm not even being biased. This is from a normal hockey fan that's not a Penguins fan. Washington sucks, and from a Penguins fan, Washington's the worst team in the league, and Tom Wilson's a bum. Okay? Carolina comes into the series after beating the Devils, which I don't even feel like they were trying. They come and knock the skates off of everybody. Ovechkin hasn't been playing. He's barely doing anything, averaging maybe -2 shots a game. Carlson's not showing up as that much. Nobody's showing up. Now, when we come into the actual perspective, Washington almost won the President's Cup. They come into this series. Montreal could have won. That was way closer than a 5-game series. Carolina's much better than Montreal.
Yes.
They showed them. Dude, they're averaging maybe 25 shots, and Washington had 10 going into the third period. It was horrible. Svechnikov has been such an accurate shooter. You've seen the second and third line coming out huge for Carolina. And the one thing that is making this series not a sweep, Logan Thompson. Washington, without their goaltender, is getting swept by Montreal. They've been playing horrible. I haven't seen a push from them coming out in any game. I think that without Logan Thompson...
Do you think this is 5?
Definitely. I think Carolina sees them. They've adjusted. They know what they're playing. they killed them last game. They see, okay, Logan Thompson's the best goaltender. Without him, you're done. So they just showed them, get around them. Then you get all these chances. They didn't even have to tip. And it's like, my opinion, they're like, okay, if Logan Thompson doesn't play phenomenally and doesn't play to his full best potential and doesn't get a shutout, Washington's a normal team. Carolina has the edge on them a lot. It's been surprising for me what Washington has done. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer, but now I see Carolina rolling out in this game 4.
The one thing that I see with this series, and again, this is probably the least entertaining series, it's the shots on goal that have been alarming if you're Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Washington can't keep the puck for contained pressure for a long enough time. They've had a couple periods. In Game 2, they played their best game by a mile. But Game 3 was not good, and Game 1 was not good. And the other thing that you're noticing is Carolina, to me, they're all over them. They're just sustained pressure, several lines. Washington is struggling to keep up. Now, I say that, can they put some games together and some periods together? Absolutely, they could do that. But if Washington won this series, I would be floored at this point in time. Something would have had to happen because Anderson has been great. I was worried. That was the other thing. I was worried Anderson wasn't going to play. I was like, if Anderson doesn't play, I'm worried about it. But the other thing is, Carolina didn't care. They didn't care if they had a goaltender. They were going to outshoot you by 20. I could not believe the shot discrepancy in Game 1. It was. And
when you only have like 10 shots, you're versing the best goaltender in the playoffs. He's a 1 goal against average, one of the best saving the percentage average. If you're not going to get pucks on net, and especially when you have Freddie Anderson in net, then you're not going to win a series. And so, yeah, I see Brent Burns needs to retire. He sold that game, too. He putting these stupid shots on net when they had an empty net. I thought Jalen Chatfield for Carolina's defense has been playing outstanding. I thought he's getting Carolina so many great opportunities. Svechnikov has been getting these pucks on net, which I thought was huge. He gets that tie-up off the face-off. They have just been bringing the energy and rolling on Washington and showing what Carolina can do.
I would agree. So all in all, what we have right now is you have projected Carolina the winner. You have Carolina, Toronto. I believe you picked
Vegas
Dallas.
Or Edmonton.
Dallas. Did you pick Edmonton at the beginning?
I said what for my bracket, like
you picked Edmonton because
Vegas in 7 or Edmonton in 5.
Yep. I could see that either way, but as we get to the picks tonight, and this week, we'll do another show later this week. We'll see where we're at, but right now Edmonton has a chance to go up 3-1. Carolina has a chance to go up 3-1, so I know who's going to play desperate. Edmonton has Skinner in net. He's 0-3. I would think he's due. So Brendan's bombs are going to go first. I'm going to say Edmonton wins this game. It will be tight. I think it'll be 4-3. I don't think it'll be overtime. I don't project an overtime winner here, but that's who I have winning. Skinner will look rough at times, but I think he finds his zone.
I feel Edmonton's going to slow down this game. It's what my instincts are telling me. It's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of good wrist shots getting on Skinner. I feel like he's just going to be like overthrown and just kind of like scared in net. Yeah, like a little kid. So I see Edmonton will get 3 around Hill, but I see Vegas getting 4 or 5. So I'm going to take Vegas 1, tying it up, going back into Las Vegas.
All right, and Carolina, Washington, who do you have on that one? I'll pick second on this one.
Absolutely Carolina. We said when you have Freddie Anderson in net, you don't get any shots. Obviously, Washington's due for this horrible series they've been having. Didn't do that good against Montreal. I'm definitely taking Carolina. Washington's going to be trying too hard. They said they need more out of Ovechkin and Karlsson. They need to go in a nursing home. When you play them more than like 30 minutes a game, night, okay, we're just going to take you off. We have way better players, way more stamina. We're at home, so I'm going to take Carolina. Final score prediction, 6-2.
Ooh, that's a lot. I don't.
Oh, actually, that's against Logan Thompson too. No, never mind. I'll say 4-1.
Okay, that seems more reasonable. I have it Carolina. On this one, it's going to be a lot closer. I believe it's going to be 3-2, 4-3 Carolina. I think they still win this one because having this 3-1 lead, I think the coach knows how important that is, especially when you look across and you see that Toronto and Florida are definitely going a minimum of 6, possibly 7, and so you have a chance to clean up business here. You want to do that as quick as possible. I also agree with your take on Washington. They look old, and when you're going into the playoffs with some age, it doesn't help you. And Ovechkin, your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. And these every other game, playoff games, I just think it's tough. I think it's very, very tough for the older guys. I know they want a cup. I know they want to go back to the Stanley Cup, but Washington's going to have to get a rebirth.
Yeah.
They're going to have to find some fresh legs, some fresh energy.
And Ryan Leonard, man, you got that in you, but you can't do anything. Leave the league right now. Actually, no. Ryan Leonard can come to Pittsburgh. We're good. Because I know I want Sidney Crosby to get one last playoff run. We win the cup. It's a storybook. Then we get Matthew Nyes, everybody.
Well, the other thing that will be fun is as we go through this, we'll be spending some time in the offseason. But that's our playoff picks. That's Brendan's bombs and Nick's picks. We'll be joining you this week. And hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you're enjoying hockey. And as always, it's Nick, and I'm your host, Brendan. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.